Welcome to the Verdin Verdict Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. Just came back from LSU's practice. Got the notes, got the footage, highlights, everything you need to know. If you didn't watch the highlights yet, we have them uploaded on our channel right now. So after the stream, don't leave the stream now. After the show, though, go tap in, go take a look. A couple of takeaways here off the top that I'm gonna get out of the way. Light day of practice, didn't do too much. Didn't get to see too much, kept it inside, out of the elements, out of the rain that came and went, out of the heat that's been here for quite some damn time. It's like you're there for 20 minutes, you're covered in sweat, drenched. It's their fifth practice in a row, according to Brian Kelly. Tomorrow will make their sixth day in a row. They're going to do a scrimmage at night. Yeah, pretty sure in Tiger Stadium. Don't quote me on that one, though. But today, with how many practices that they had in a row, got to take some precautions. Got to be smart. Got to try to stay ahead of the injuries, the soft tissue, knick-knack things that normally bother a lot of schools at this point. LSU's kind of in a, I'm not gonna say a pickle because you got Nussmeier, you got Aaron. At times you're worrying about Nick Anderson. Zay Thomas had a little bit of a woe today. Whit Weeks is recovering. Harold Perkins is recovering. Like, you just want to make sure you're not doing too much because there's a mix here. There's a balance. You don't want to do too much. You don't want to put your guys in a situation where they could potentially be hurt or potentially, be sidelined. Like I said, Whit Weeks was off to the side today. Not in street clothes, had his jersey on. Still out there repping. Whit Weeks can't keep him out. But you don't want to put him in a spot where he's damaging that ankle. It's a pretty sensitive recovery time for somebody like this that's coming off of a surgery that has an injury that could potentially linger this season. Yeah, he dislocated. It wasn't broken. Not a lot of torn things. No ligament issues. However, you do want to make sure that your key piece of the defense is going to be able to answer the count, especially in a moment like week one. Brian Kelly said he'll be back at practice tomorrow, so no big deal. No worry. Nussmeier was on a pitch count today as well. With what we've seen, it doesn't look like his knee is bothering him as much as you would have expected. I mean, when you hear the worries, the tendonitis, this flared up, the sleeve, all these different factors, you kind of start to think that you're in a worse situation than, quite frankly, you really aren't. Because Nussmeier is sprinting, he's running full speed. There was a read option where he even kept it. And it doesn't look like anything's hindering him. Now, will they keep him to the side and not do too much? Yeah, of course. Naturally, you want to be smart, but I feel like you missed a huge injury there, thankfully. Others missed practice today, too, because of a graduation. Chris Hilton, Jordan Gilbert, Emory Jones back on campus. The Baltimore Ravens, shout out Big 50. All in all, though, good practice. You're starting to work on the Clemson packages. You're starting to try to work on those schemes. Brian Kelly was saying they're working on the fronts, the verbiage, just trying to get out there. And it's football season again. It's not fall camp anymore. Now you're getting prepped for game one, which is 15 days away, if I do say so myself. You got a little over 2 weeks. Tomorrow, it'll be 2 weeks on the dot until the Tigers take on the Tigers of Clemson. It'll be an interesting game. We'll do our preview here shortly in about a week, maybe a week and a half, might make you wait a little longer. They brought everything out today, though. Crowd noise, music, trying to get everybody prepared for what's ahead of them on the road here in Death Valley, or faux Death Valley, whatever you want to call it. Offensive line rotation looked the same for the most part. Left guard saw DJ Chester and Paul Mubanga rotate in and out. But according to Brian Kelly, he's feeling good about this offensive line group. He was talking to the media today in his presser, and he said he's got an eye for things like this. He's put out plenty of NFL talent, and from what he's seen, the 5 men out there currently, they're all complementing each other. They all play well together, and he thinks that this offensive line group will be really good. Now, here's all I'm going to say. Brian Kelly's not going to get on the podium and say the offensive line is horrible. He's not going to say that. He's not going to say these guys aren't doing good. We don't know what to do. We still got battles. At left guard, potentially at right guard. Yeah, we found our center in Braylon Moore, who he did give credit to. He was saying that Braylon Moore, he's great. He's great at being able to understand the fronts, being able to recognize different packages, and how everything sort of fell into place after they finalized that position. I do think it's still one of my biggest worries. Yeah, Coach Kelly's going to say that's a good group. It does have potential. I'll say that. You have potential with the pieces here. It's about finding the right combos, the right fits, the right schemes, and will they be able against a Clemson defensive line? Will they be able to protect Garrett Nussmeier? That's the end-all, be-all question. That's the $1 million question, if you will, not $1 million match. Here's your depth pieces. Left tackle, Tyree Adams, Carius Kern, Kern's the second team, obviously. Left guard, DJ, Paul Mubenga, a little bit of Bo Bordelon. Center, Braylon Moore, DJ Chester, Cohen Eccles. That's a deep rotation, but I don't think it gets past Braylon Moore. Right guard, Josh Thompson, Cohen Eccles, and then right tackle, Weston Davis and Ori Williams. That's who I've seen out there in those groups. Your starting lineup, though, with what it's been looking like through the first few rotations, it'll be Tyree Adams at left tackle. I think DJ Chester at left guard. Braylon Moore at center is locked. Right guard, I believe it'll be Josh Thompson. And then right tackle, I believe in Weston Davis. Now, like Brian Kelly was saying, in a lot of position groups, really, not even just offensive line. You got pieces. You're not handcuffed. You don't have, that's all you got. You're going to be able to have depth, competitive depth all season long. And then at this point of fall camp, you have competitive depth to the point where everybody's going to get better because of it. If you automatically had these guys starting and there's no transfers breathing down their neck, potentially taking reps, everybody kind of gets complacent. Everybody kind of gets comfortable. Now you're in a situation where you can't let up. It don't matter if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It don't matter the day. It don't matter the time. It don't matter the practice scenario. You got a next man up that's potentially trying to take your job. Now everybody is on, I'm not going to say the same page in a sense where like, you know, how do I word this? Everybody's on the same page, one common goal, trying to be better. But at the same time, they're all, you know, kind of like, all right, man, I got to show this dude. Like, I can still play here. I can still play. This is my job. This is my role. This is my room, whatever the case may be. That's the vibe that we're getting here, especially in that offensive line area. Juwan Johnson sticking at running back, according to Coach Kelly. This is obvious. With the JT Lindsey situation, you need to address those depth concerns. You only got 3 scholarship running backs right now. Between Caden Durham, Caleb Jackson, Harlem Berry, you lose JT Lindsey to the suspension with the, off the field issues going on right now. But Juwan at running back, really, that's where he took most of his reps. That's where we've seen 8 the most through camp. I'm not too surprised hearing that that's going to be where he spends most of his time. He's a playmaker. He makes a lot of plays. He made one today, took one in one-handed, made a move to the 1-yard line. I'm sure you're going to be seeing 8 do a lot of that all season long. Brian Kelly was talking about he'll be a big piece of what they do in the offense because there's a lot of things that Juwan Johnson can do. He's not just a mobile player. He's not just an athlete that you can hand the football to in the backfield and expect big things from. He can do things in the pass game, throwing the football, catching the football, being out there as a decoy. There's a lot of different benefits that you get when you throw in somebody like that out there. Harlem Berry, he's been getting put into the mix as well. Sloan got a little mad at him today. He dropped the screen. He was saying, come on, man, we're trying to get you the ball. Run it back. That's a good sign, though. If your offensive coordinator is telling you we're trying to get you the ball, you work your way into the plans. You've earned your reps. You're in a spot now where, like Brian Kelly said after the spring game, Harlem Berry, even though he's a freshman, will have an opportunity to see the field. There were questions about weight. There were questions about pass protection. I don't think you got many questions left after fall camp, especially now that you got these depth concerns. Like I said, Harlem Berry, he's 100% in the mix, and you can expect some big things from him. Now, let's talk quarterback. Garrett Nussmeier off to the side, like we said, trying to take it slow. Looked good when he was out there several times. Like I said, he was sprinting full speed. I don't think it's bothering him too much. I think this is the point where he's comfortable. I don't think that he doesn't look like he's favoring it. He doesn't look like he's limping. He's sore. He doesn't look like anything at all. And he might be hiding it really well. But I feel like when you're sprinting or when you're throwing or when you're in these drills, there would be a telltale sign. And I also think that you wouldn't want 13 out there sprinting full speed multiple times, 3 times that I counted it, if it was a problem and if it was something that you're worried about. Michael Van Buren, he's getting a little more comfortable. Now, here's the benefit of Nussmeier kind of slowing down his reps and not taking as many. The benefit is people like Michael Van Buren and Colin Hurley get more reps. You get to get them accustomed to the scheme that they're learning because Nussmeier's not learning the scheme no more. He's really just getting the chemistry, ironing out the few wrinkles in this offense, maybe getting the kinks out, if you will. But guys like Michael Van Buren and Colin Hurley are benefiting the most from this situation. I mean, as tough as it is sometimes to take a positive out of a real scary situation, this is the positive. And Michael Van Buren, he looked comfortable today. Added on the reps, few good balls. The person that I was really impressed with, though, Colin Hurley. Now, there's a lot of questions about Colin Hurley and how long he's going to be able to wait. And I just feel like the writing is on the wall for LSU bringing in a portal quarterback after the season just to have a nice, nice quarterback room where you're not really worried. You want to have pieces. You want to have experienced pieces, and you never know who's going to enter the portal. It could be a big prize possession that adds, his name to that mix late. So it's going to be hard to predict. However, in Colin Hurley's situation, I think he's got enough talent where he could potentially, and I don't want to say this and make it seem like LSU is going to lose a player that they might not lose because he seems committed. But like if Colin Hurley hit the portal, I think he could start somewhere. I think he's ready. I'm not saying he's ready this season, but I mean, give him another year in this system. And with the way that his arm looked today, I do see a bright future for Colin Hurley. Is it LSU? I don't know. He's going to have some battles to win if so. But I mean, his arm looked great. He has some zip on the tight spirals, really strong arm, hit Berrien Brown in stride for a touchdown, hit Zay Thomas in the corner over Mike Turner, and then hit Trudez Green over Harold Perkins. Now, there's questions for the depth, right? You don't know for sure until 2026. That's all I'm going to say. You don't know for sure who your guy will be, or at least who the favorite will be in that room until the season is over with. Until Nussmeier probably found his NFL destination, and then you're going to go into the portal, scratch claw, try to figure it out. Regardless of the situation, though, at least you got a piece that you could be able to feel confident about. I'm confident in Colin Hurley. Now, will he be the guy? I don't know. But he's showing some promise, and it's better than doing nothing. Tight end, Donovan Green. Got to show him some love real quick. That's a transfer from A&M. He's looked great so far in camp. I feel like he could do a little bit of both. He can block. He can be in the pass game. I love the duality of players like that. I love that a player is not a specialist and, you're just handcuffed to one area to be able to use him. And look, if you're a specialist and you bring something to the table that is very unique and no one else in the country can do it, there's a spot for that. And there's a benefit to have had if, you're starting a specialist like that. But with someone like Donovan Green, you can audible. You can move him around in different packages. He could be a depth piece if, God forbid, somebody goes down. We got 3 tight ends in this room that are really, really competitive and can start damn near at any SEC school if you really want me to be real. You got your Des Green, who's 6'7", and he could start anywhere in the country, period. He's going to be one of our biggest targets. He's unstoppable in the red zone. You throw it up to Big 14, he'll come down with it no matter who is guarding him. Bar Sharp already led an SEC program in receiving. And he's already showed that he's an athlete. He's played quarterback. He's done this. He's done that. He had the rough little low light against LSU, that Wildcat. But at the end of the day, he got a bag. Whether it be the route running, whether it be the block and release, he's got a skill set that LSU is going to be able to utilize. And now mix Donovan Green in this instance. Today I saw a double set where you saw Trudez get wide open on the corner, and then Donovan comes across the middle and he's wide open. It's a pick your poison type of play. Who do you want? Both of them are wide. Both of them are plucking the defense. That's what you want this offense to have. Options. Not one dimension where they're just going to keep pounding. Not one little aspect of the pass game that you can keep hitting on. You want to be able to run every single level. You want to be able to pass to every single area. I mean, it's not just a short slot. It's not just a deep go. You got tight ends making moves. You got all kind of different pieces in this offense that I think you could be able to benefit from. Then not to mention, let's say you're running this double set and you got 2 tight ends out. If you really, really, really wanted to, you got that extra push. You got 7 men right there at that point, at that front, if you block 2 tight ends. Now, you're probably not going to, but you've got a lot of options. You got a lot of creativity. Lastly, Zay Thomas. He's been having a hell of a camp, and I just got to give him credit one more time. He's been used all over the place. Brian Kelly gave him some credit, talking about his role, how his role will grow, how he's getting rewarded because of the work that he's put in. He's a great leader. All of these great things. Had a good day at practice. He rolled his ankle at the end of it, though. And that's when I kind of held my breath a little bit. You saw him limp around. You saw him go back to his position group. Didn't go to a trainer. So that's a positive. I think it's a small little injury, and I think he'll be perfectly fine. I don't think this is going to matter. But we're talking about 5 practices in a row. Tomorrow's the 6th. These are the moments that you're going to start to see. Then Nick Anderson cramps on the side and goes off. He goes off to the trainer, takes his cleat off, yada, yada, yada. Those are the moments where you're like, maybe we need a rest day. Maybe we need a rest day, coach. Maybe we need to relax. I'm sure Sunday they're going to get their recovery period. But, hey, that's the part of fall camp you're in now. Now you just got to make it to the damn week 1 game. You saw what you need to saw. The depth is what it is. Everybody's getting aligned. At this point, you just don't want any more injuries. You just want everybody to be able to get to where they need to go, do what they got to do, and have a successful season. Floby was good, my guy. Nuss going to play with a knee brace whole season, probably still going to win the Heisman. Come on now. Yeah, I can see it, bro. I got the vision. Floby over here. You got to put the ticket down, big dog. Kobe in the chat. What's up, Wood? How you doing, man? Hope you're having a good one. Let's briefly move over, switch gears, talk Michigan for a little tiny puny second. Today, the punishment rained down on the Wolverines and Sharon Moore. Not the consequences many were expecting. A lot of people were expecting a postseason ban or a suspension from the playoffs or whatever the case may be. They ain't get it. They got a very, very, very limited punishment, if you will. Only fines, only show causes. They got some recruiting limitations and sanctions. They're not going to have as many official visits. They got communication blackouts. I think a 14-week communication blackout, which is crazy. But past cases and just overall past situations, you would expect that at the very, 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 very smallest punishment would have been Michigan getting suspended from the playoffs. I'm not trying to sit here and say the NCAA is doing the wrong thing, but right now the focus and the biggest thing that they have to do is pay that $30 million fine. That's their biggest knock. I'm sure you can be able to figure that out. They're gonna be able to get that money. There's no message sent to people here, though. There's no message sent to the next group or the next team or the next batch of cheaters, if you will. Yeah, I'm going as far as to say that. There's no clear message sent here. And I feel like that's the thing with the NCAA. That's the problem. The punishments and the decisions that are made, it's just all over the place. There's no consistent level. There's no standard. There's no type of procedure that they go through and okay, if you do this, you get this. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. And I'll give one comparison and then I'm going to leave it alone, zip my mouth. It reminds me of the Will Wade situation. I mean, LSU fires Will Wade. He has the recruiting sanctions, level 1 violations too, nothing light. But Bill Self has 5 of them. I believe Will Wade had 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Bill Self wins the national championship the same season that Will Wade gets fired. And they all are getting investigated for these violations. Now, it's a pick your poison type of league because sanctions are going to go down, but not every team is going to be punished accordingly. I think that is the big message that everybody's taking away here. Some teams are going to see some punishments. Other teams are going to see others. And Michigan today, in the eyes of many college football fans, got off very easily. I mean, you could sound off your opinion in the comments, how you feel. I'll react. I'll respond. But I'm going to side with the majority here. I think Michigan could have potentially had worse consequences. And they got off pretty easy. So, Sharon Moore, kudos to you. You know a guy. All right. I was going to end the stream early. Got a little extra topic, a special topic, if you will. We're about 24 hours away from the start of UFC 319. Big UFC guy over here, if you didn't know. Going to be a great card. Don't have many picks for you today, but I got a few locks. If you're a gambling man, if you're interested, if you want something entertaining this weekend, UFC 319 in Chicago, Dricus du Plessis, Khamzat Chimaev, going to be a fight of the year. I ain't gonna lie. They got an opportunity to be able to make it. Yeah, I'm not trying to discredit my guy, Brandon Royval and Josh Van. That was a hell of a fight. They got options too. They have a couple more mentions. But either way, I don't want to get carried away. I think they have an opportunity to be able to do it. Here are my 2 locks got one of the prelim, one right under. Chase Hooper, Carlos Paredes. I think those 2 guys, kind of heavy favorites, both around minus 300, but take them. Go ahead. Take them. Put them on a parlay, 2-legger. Do what you got to do. For the main event, though, here's where I'm really getting in that water. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the Dricus du Plessis money line. I got to. I feel like he's super underrated. He's plus 210 as a defending champ. Dricus du Plessis is plus 200, almost triple your money. Doubling bread out year. Khamzat special. I ain't gonna lie. He's a freak. GDP defended the belt twice, though. He's already got 2 defenses under his belt. Already. Beat Sean for the belt. Defends it against Izzy. Defends it against Sean. Got 2 rubies on the damn thing already. I don't see how he is plus 220. The odds got to be closer. Volkanovski said himself on his show. I mean, at worst, du Plessis should be plus 100. I'm not going to lie to you. I could see Pick'em. I get the Khamzat hype. I get it. Trust me. He's special. I know. I've watched Khamzat's whole career. The 3 fights in the first 15 days of his career, whatever the case may be. It's like he hit the ground running and had some of the biggest, hype around him out of anybody in the entirety of the UFC. Then injuries come, and then the whole weight cutting illnesses, and everybody's scared. Like, oh, is Khamzat going to be able to, return and get back to championship form? And obviously, he's able to do it. Now, the thing with DDP that I like, it doesn't matter if it's grappling, doesn't matter if it's striking, doesn't matter if it's shit talking on a press conference. He's able to do it all, every level, decent enough to obviously be able to win a championship and retain it. But the cardio that he has, he's doing all that, everything, every single area. And he's still pushing you in your face through the 5 rounds. He said in an interview that he treats every single round like an entire new fight. And when the bell rings and he comes out of the break, he's ready, he's locked in like it's round one all over again. And then he also kind of reminds me, now this is a wild take and people are going to probably kill me for this one, but he also kind of reminds me of a George St. Pierre in a way where he's going to beat you at your own game. Sean Strickland, one of the best boxers in that division. Guess what? Dricus boxed him, outboxed him, came in his face, ready to go, blow for blow. And I feel like that means something. That means something. Don't matter what type of striking they're going to have to do, what type of wrestling, whatever the case. I think he's got the cardio, and I think he'll be able to push Hamzat. Hamzat's got the advantage in the first 2 rounds. If it gets outside of 10 minutes, I think that Dricus du Plessis can be able to take this down. I ain't going to lie. I think if Hamzat, look, that first round going to be when I'm holding my breath the most. That's when the aggressive, all these submissions, all these takedowns, all this offense, if you will, that's when it's going to happen the most for Hamzat. And DDP's aware of that. He said multiple times he knows he's going to get taken down. It's all about how he responds, how he keeps his cool, how he's able to react. And my last point here, it reminds me of the Merab and Umar situation. Merab's plus 210. There's an up-and-coming prospect that everybody thinks has his number, and Merab shows why he's dominant. And Merab is one of the more underrated fighters as well. So I think DDP slides right into this. I think he retains his title against Hamzat. Could be a great fight. I think it goes past the second round. Once you get into that 3rd, 4th, 5th, those later championship rounds, that's when it falls in du Plessis' favor. He'll tire Hamzat out. He won't struggle on the ground. He might get taken down, but I think he'll be able to live. I think he'll be able to survive. I ain't gonna lie. My guy Coco in the chat. Shout out DDP. DDP money line this weekend. Don't say that I didn't tell y'all. W money. Dricus du Plessis is what it is. Have a good one. 15 days away from LSU and Clemson. Y'all hit that thumbs up. I'll be live Monday at 1 o'clock. Once again, appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the love. Everybody tapping in, all the content. Means the world to me. Y'all have a great weekend, man. I'm ready. I'm tapped in. UFC 319. Y'all be there. This has been the Verdin Verdict. I'm your guy, Jacob Verna, and y'all enjoy today.